Sabine und Michael, German Curriculum, Chapter 2, Section 6, G2-6. So, the first one is, wer ist das? Wer means who, or whom. In this case, wer ist das? Who is that, is what that says. And then, das ist, that is, whatever the answer is. Herr Schmidt, for example. Wie sieht aus, or wie sieht sie aus? That means, how looks he out? Well, that doesn't mean much in English. What it means is, how does she look? How does he look? Okay, but I'm translating literally so you can see what words are what first. Sieht comes from sehen, which means looking. And so anyway, that's why I'm doing it that way. Der Schüler is the schooler. Well, what's that? The student. And what that means is not college. For example, we have down here der Student. That is the student, but in college. So if you're in school, you are a Schüler. If you're in college, you're a Student. Two different things. And they're not interchangeable. Der Lehrer is the teacher, a school instructor. So teacher, basically. That's also not university. So that would be der Professor or whatever. Anyway, so der Lehrer. And if it's a female teacher, it's die Lehrerin with an IN at the end. And so you can have die Lehrerin or you can have der Lehrer, depending, male or female. Groß is big, large. It can also mean great, grand, or a lot. So all versions of big, basically, groß. Opposite is klein. That means small, little, or not a lot, depending on how it's used in the sentence. Läuft, that means walks, flows, and like I said, it can also mean runs. But it can be a river runs, a river flows, and doesn't walk, but the person walks. We could also be running. So läuft means multiple things. Anyway, zu is to. That can mean I'm going to the concert, or I'm closing the door. Mach die Tür zu. I'm closing the door. Make the door closed. Mach die Tür zu. So, and like I already said, Student and Professor, that they are not, Student and Schüler and Professor and Lehrer are not the same thing. Let us continue with the picture sequence with Sabine and Herr Schmidt and all of that. It's a little bit of a recap of what's happened. Remember, they met by bumping into each other, Sabine and Herr Schmidt. He kisses her hand, and that was all. That all happened when Michael went away. So anyway, now Michael comes in and probably is asking her something like, "Who was that?" And she says, "It's Herr Schmidt." And let's see, what do we have here? We have Herr Schmidt. That's he has something to do with Deutsch, and anyway, that's because there's the German sign that goes on the cars, identifying the cars being from Germany, Deutschland. Anyway, and she says, "Huh? What's going on?" And he's indicating something with size, and she's rather confused, apparently. Okay, let's see what the text has to say. The text I will read first and then translate. You might notice these are getting a little longer each time. I don't know, let me try and zoom in a little. If that's, maybe we'll cut off a little bit of the picture, but the text will be more legible. Okay, so I'll zoom up again. I'll scroll up again later. Okay, so, Herr Schmidt sagt, es freut mich sehr, auf Wiedersehen. So he says, like, it's been a pleasure, goodbye. Oh, that's right, I was going to read it in German once. Herr Schmidt sagt, es freut mich sehr, auf Wiedersehen. Küsst Sabines Hand und geht weg. Michael läuft zu Sabine. Fragt, Sabine, Sabine, wer ist das? Das ist Herr Schmidt, sagt Sabine. Michael sagt, oh Sabine, das ist nicht Herr Schmidt. Herr Schmidt ist mein Deutschlehrer. Ich bin sein Schüler. Sabine fragt, und wie sieht Herr Schmidt aus? Michael sagt, er ist groß. Dieser Mann ist klein. Oh, interessant, sagt Sabine. Okay, so this is going on to become probably a I don't know, maybe mistaken identity or something. Anyway, Herr Schmidt says, it's been a pleasure, or it's a pleasure, and goodbye, auf Wiedersehen. Till we see each other again, literally. Now, this is Sabine's hand and goes away. That's what that says. Michael runs, walks, he's more than walking, he's flying, to Sabine and asks, he asks, Sabine, who is that? And she says, das ist Herr Schmidt. Says Sabine, that's Herr Schmidt. Michael says, oh, Sabine, that is not Herr Schmidt. Herr Schmidt is my German teacher, mein Deutschlehrer. Ich bin sein Schüler, I am his student. But in this case, student as in school, not Student as in university. Okay, Sabine asks, and how looks Herr Schmidt out? So how does Herr Schmidt look? What does Herr Schmidt look like? That's what you might say in English. Michael answers, he is groß. That doesn't mean he's gross, although he may be. It says, ist groß, so he is big. This man is small. Dieser Mann ist klein. So, anyway, and she says, oh, interessant, sagt Sabine. Oh, very interesting, says Sabine. So we'll see what happens with this. It's becoming a little more complicated.